I've been waiting to hear this answer because I already knew it was inevitable that one of these guys, these billionaires, would have to address the price changes that are coming in. So Jeff Bezos, as of recent, is putting the world on notice that price changes are coming to Amazon.
There was no other way.
And so here's the thing. The administration is actually upset about it. They weren't just upset that the prices were going up. They were upset at the fact that Jeff Bezos, after Donald Trump allegedly had called him, he was there to complain about a report that was going online that they were considering displaying that the only reason that there's a price increase is solely on the shoulders of the White House.
Jeff Bezos was very nice. He was terrific. He solved the problem very quickly. And he did the right thing, and he's a good guy.
Yeah, that's called Amazon protecting themselves. Do you understand? Amazon wasn't just a big box store. Amazon made people reconsider if they want to go to Walmart or not. They're also one of the major reasons why investors just generally don't invest in building malls anymore. But with that said, it also brings up another issue. The White House is still peddling the idea that tariffs are actually paid by the country and not the company, which will inevitably fall onto the consumer. All right, so I want to hear this.
Hi, Mr. Secretary. So it was reported this morning that Amazon will soon display a little number next to the price of each product that shows how much the Trump tariffs are adding to the cost of each product. So isn't that a perfect crystal clear demonstration that it's the American consumer and not China who is going to have to pay for these policies?
Yes.
I will take this since I just got off the phone with the president about Amazon's announcement. This is a hostile and political act by Amazon. Why didn't Amazon do this when the Biden administration hiked inflation to the highest level in 40 years? And I would also add that it's not a surprise because, as Reuters recently wrote, Amazon has partnered with a Chinese propaganda arm. So this is another reason why Americans should buy American. It's another reason why we are onshoring critical supply chains here at home to shore up
So Jeff Bezos is deceiving. He's a deceiver. He's a schemer.
our own critical supply chain and boost our own manufacturing here.
Is Jeff Bezos still a Trump supporter?
Look, I will not speak to the president's relationships
Oh, you gotta love the answers.
with Jeff Bezos, but I will tell you that this is certainly a hostile and political action by Amazon. And
Now, one thing is very important to note that Amazon actually denies that they're going to be displaying the specific tariff price beside the regular price. Now, you understand what that means, right? That doesn't mean that the price is going down. It just means they won't show you the impact that the tariffs specifically are having on the price. The price is still going to fall on the consumer, which is the part that they continue to deny. The reason why them putting that obvious price in the public eye is a problem is because, one, it's a little too on the nose, and two, it's very hard to continue to deceive your own followers. Remember something, they did whole segments about this with the whole concept of who pays the tariff.
You can't be this dumb.
Guys like this, they were flabbergasted when they heard the truth that when you implement a tariff on China, it is not China who receives that tariff or that tax. It's you.
The Chinese government pays the tariff.
No, they don't. Who pays the tariffs?
The Chinese government pays the tariff.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
I'm an importer and exporter for 20 years. When a product comes into the U.S., there's something called a tariff sheet.
Okay.
I, as the buyer of that product, follow U.S. law and pay the tariff. I'm an American citizen, I'm an American taxpayer. I pay that tariff to the U.S. government, and that increase in the cost, I then sell to you for a higher price because I've got to cover that tariff.
Then what about?
There is
then
no.
what do you say? Our tariffs are higher when they go overseas as opposed to theirs
Okay.
coming here.
Tariffs are never a zero-sum game. Tariffs are a tool. For example,
Okay.
you might say, you want to sell us your beans.
Yeah.
We are going to give you a low tariff if you buy our corn. But the cost of the tariff is ultimately always borne by the consumer.
Don't you think at the end of the day there may be more competition within the market of the U.S. government?
And you're confusing the question. This is not a question of competition. The point we're discussing is
The reason why this is so much of a shock is because Trump ran on the whole China is going to pay the tariff.
Who are you with? I'm with The Independent. Oh, that's good. It's on tariffs. You just said with China. Thank you. We charge them. We charge them as in we charge China, but the tariffs are paid eventually by American importers and consumers.
No, they're not. No, I think they're paid for by the country.
No, it's not.
And these people never did any research.
Donald J. Trump, man.
What's one of your
I'm voting for the man that's going to take America back, baby. Donald J. Trump, man.
Remember
What's
him.
one of your biggest issues?
It's probably going to be inflation, because I sell T-shirts and all that stuff.
Your T-shirts are made in the USA.
No, my blanks, no. See, that's the thing Trump's talking about. If we tax them, hit tariffs, the same item they're making over there will cost the same to make over here.
We pay the tariffs.
Well, the companies pay the tariffs, not us.
China doesn't pay the tariffs. We do when they come in.
No, it doesn't work like that.
Like if I'm
And he's a businessman that sells T-shirts.
Tariffs. What Trump did is place tariffs on Chinese imports. By the time the imports get here, China's been paid for this stuff. Maybe they get net 120 terms, right? But in a sense, China has already transacted. The American company who brings the goods in pays the tariffs.
Really?
You're kidding right now.
No, I thought he said he was raising the tariffs by 50 to 100% for Chinese imports.
145.
The tariffs are paid by the company that does the importing. So if you want to
Okay.
build a building in the U.S. and you import Chinese steel, you pay China for the steel, you pay the U.S. government the tariff. This is why it's inflationary. Economists have looked at Trump's tariff proposal and said it would make stuff more expensive for Americans by adding the cost of the tariffs to the total cost of production. So that's the way tariffs work. A lot of people don't seem to know how tariffs work, which is sad because this is how people end up getting sucked into Trump's vortex. He says something that sounds good. I'm going to punish China with tariffs.
Yeah.
In this case, that sounds good. Chinese tariffs. They're paid by the American companies.
Wow.
That's why it's so damaging.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send me this part of the
No, I will.
conversation. We gotta
I
clip
genuinely
this.
had no idea. I thought China was paying those.
Yep.
I'm sorry, have you?
Then there's this.
Because I have. They don't get charged on foreign companies. They get charged on the importers.
And ultimately, when we have fair and balanced trade, which the American people have not seen in decades, as I said at the beginning, revenues will stay here, wages will go up, and our country will be made wealthy again. And I think it's insulting that you are trying to test my knowledge of economics and the decisions that this president has made. I'm now regret giving a question to the Associated Press. Mary.
So insane stuff. They know very well what's going on. They know who pays the tariff and who doesn't. They know who the tariff actually goes to. At the end of the day, it will always fall on the consumer. Like when he asked the president does not have the power to just tell a company that you need to keep your prices down in order that he doesn't come off looking bad and to offset the cost that would naturally go to the consumer. Companies aren't just going to eat it, regardless of their valuation.
This briefing was the news that broke just before those two took the podium, that Amazon, and we should note also, Joe, one real takeaway here from this briefing was the news that broke just before those two took the podium, that Amazon is now going to be displaying how much of an item's cost is derived from tariffs. We are seeing reports already. Prices are starting to go up in certain sectors, at certain stores, certain industries. Now, Amazon is going to show you, if you go to their website or their app and click, and I'm going to buy this, it will show you how much you're paying because of President Trump's tariffs. The press secretary deemed that a, quote, hostile and political act by Amazon.
I know this specifically that in some warehouses, not stores, but warehouses, what they're doing is once they receive a product from the U.S., it actually displays tariffs and how much that actually costs now.
We know, of course, that Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon, also owns the Washington Post and other interests, has really cozied up to Trump in these first 100 days. We'll see what happens there next. We're going to hear from the president himself later on at this rally in Michigan to mark 100 days of his term.
Wild.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
Should Jeff Bezos actually display the price so that everyone knows what's going on? Would this remove the scale from everyone's eyes? Whatever your thoughts are, leave them in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like, and I will see you again on the next one. Be easy, y'all.